Good morning, everybody. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I think drama at the start of the day, but I think we are now live. I think everybody can hear me. So, wow. I don't think I'm going to start the show off with the news that I was going to have today. I wasn't going to look at the Bitcoin chart today, but all of those plans have changed in the last half hour. And yes, I am going to go over the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to go over the figures, the targets, the prices that I think we could be looking at. I'm just making sure everything is working. We had a bit of a problem. One of the streams wasn't booting up, but now we seem to be back. So what are we going to go through today? Well, first of all, if you celebrate it, happy Valentine's Day. If you're sharing it with your better half or your other half, enjoy the day. If you are alone, do not worry. You can share Valentine's Day with Bitcoin. That's right. We're going to spend an hour or so now going through the charts, going through the news, and going to have a little bit of a quiz at the end. Maybe we'll have a love-related quiz at the end. Who knows? So what we're going to go through now, markets, X-Files. We're going to go through the CPI data, which caused ETFs. We're going to go through the ETH ADA inflow. We're going to look at Ripple acquiring another piece of their jigsaw. And first of all, what I'm going to do is work out why we are lagging so much. This is one of those days where I think the gods are going to conspire against me. Okay. Let's make sure. If somebody can let me know in chat if everything is sounding okay. Do we sound like we are lagging? Let me know. Good morning to a few people. Mags is in chat. Kishan is here. Rob, congratulations on winning your prize. Okay, right, let's go through the charts. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers, but yesterday we were talking about what Bitcoin would have to do to get to $1 trillion market cap. And there we go. This morning, for the first time in probably almost 2 years, Bitcoin is now a $1 trillion asset. It's been a long time coming. We've had a brutal bear market, but we've done it. We're at $1 trillion for Bitcoin. $51,500. I think this morning, just before we went live, we're at 49.6, 49.8, I think. So we've had a proper rip in the last hour. Ethereum has gone over 2,700. And the big news, which we're going to cover in a short while, is of course Solana has flipped BNB. Solana is now the third biggest crypto behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. BNB has slid just a little bit, and there is a long way back for XRP, a long way back for Cardano and Avalanche, Chainlink, etc. The market cap has surged 1.9 trillion now. I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, I don't want us to get too far ahead of ourselves. We are in the pre-halving phase now. We haven't had the halving. We haven't had the supply shock. And we are already, yesterday we could look at a retracement back towards 39.5, 40,000. But the higher we go up, I don't think we're going to fall down as far as 30s, 35s, as some people are saying. I do think 40 could probably hold as support, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So Bitcoin dominance probably hasn't updated. Still at 52.5%. Remember, we've pumped in the last hour, so a lot of the charts you can be forgiven for not updating in time. And if I sound a little bit croaky, I'm not feeling too good today. I'm not feeling my usual self, so we'll try and get through it as best we can. So Blur is up, Say is up. The charts are going to be all over the place, simply because when everything pumps, it takes a long time. So these are some of the gainers anyway. Stacks, VeChain is up, Pyth is having a good run, Mira, Pendle, even good old Bonk is having a bit of a tear. So some serious gainers. And what's down? Well, Tariq will not be happy. Tariq will not be happy at all. Litecoin is coming down a little bit, 3%. Injective is down. Asta Dupe, again, I really don't understand this. This is a $2.50 coin. It's going to rip at some point. I'm going to keep telling you, and I am going to say I told you so when it does finally rip, because Jupiter is not a $660 million market cap. Let me put this into context. This is the DEX on the third biggest chain by market cap in the world. This is the biggest DEX on the third biggest chain in the world, and the current market cap is $668 million. Go and have a look at what Uniswap is valued at, for example, and then do a like-for-like comparison. Jupiter is criminally undervalued. Not financial advice, of course, but this is the only coin that I am currently stacking. I've got my staked assets, of course. I've got my Solana staked, my Cardano, etc. But for me, Jupiter, excuse me, is the one. I'm probably going to be buying a few more Jupe over the next few days if it doesn't rip too much. So there's the markets. What a day. What a day. Now, let me bring up the right list of articles that we're going to go through. That would be really helpful instead of yesterday's news. Let's go through some of these and try and give you the stream today was supposed to be an autopsy of what happened yesterday. That is what is supposed to have happened. It hasn't happened because in the time between the CPI data coming out and now, we have ripped. But we're still going to go through it. So the CPI came in higher than expected, and what that did was it pushed the chances of a rate decrease back from around March, April time to May. If you look at the charts here, the first rate cut is now expected to be June. So it's given us another couple of months of these high interest rates. High interest rates, of course, mean that people have less money to spend, companies have less money to invest. So all in all, it's not positive, which is why we expected the correction a little bit. But one thing that somebody mentioned the other day that I've got to explain to people is inflation coming down does not mean that the prices of your goods that you have in your bags come down. If you are paying $1 for a loaf of bread last year, you're paying $1.03 or 4 cents this year. You were paying 75 cents for it 3 years ago, and inflation's brought it to $1. Inflation is still pushing the price of that loaf of bread up. So just because inflation is coming down, it doesn't mean the prices in the shops are going to come down. What we need for that is we need some kind of deflation. So if the price of wheat comes down, like cocoa, for example, cocoa chocolate is going to go up massively over the next 12 months because we've had, I think the price of cocoa has gone up 66% in the last 3 months, I think, 3 or 4 months. That's going to push up the price of chocolate this year and next year. So olive oil is the same thing, and olives are the same thing. Olive oil has gone up massively over the last couple of years because when you have inflation compounded with bad farming, bad yields, it just compounds even more. So it's good news that it's coming down. It's bad news that it's still higher than it should be. And that will cause a delay in the reduction in interest rates. And again, one of the things and one of the titles for the show today was going to be, do not let the whales take your Bitcoin off you. We saw a lot of people being liquidated yesterday, and we saw a lot of people lose their Bitcoin. Do not do anything with your Bitcoin. Keep it safe. Either keep it on the exchange you're watching us now, or if you are really technically competent, go and get yourself a Ledger or a Trezor and put it into cold storage. Keep your Bitcoin safe. Do not be flushed out by these whales. They will have bought all of that $48,500 Bitcoin yesterday. I went in, I put a long on Bitcoin at 48.4, 48.5, and then I closed my long at 49.6, 49.7. It was one of those flushes, it was one of those flash spikes down. I didn't expect us to get to this price today. I thought we'd be at 49.8, but don't let them flush you out. It's a minor correction. There's a long way down before we need to worry. There's a long way down in the price. We can go down to 40,000. We can go down to 39.5 and still be above the bull market support band. So don't panic. Don't panic at all. Now, another good indicator that the markets are healthy and the markets are looking positive is yields. Yields on stable coins. Now, Camino, which is one of the projects I've talked about in the past, they're going to do an airdrop of tokens every quarter this year, but their USDT USDC vault is 6.7% for the last 6 months. If you go to the exchange that you are on, you are seeing yields now of 10, 12, 14% on stable coins. We haven't seen this for 2 years. I remember getting 13.5% on USDC 2.5 years ago. That came all the way down to about 4% last year during the bear market. It's now starting to creep up towards 6, 7, 8%. This is another sign that the market's starting to recover and more money is starting to flow in. The demand is getting higher. People are taking out loans. People are being way more bullish than they were. Let me move on just a tad. I am going to drop boxes throughout the show. So just bear with me. I'm going to drop another box in about 3 or 4 minutes time. I just want to make sure that I keep an eye on chat. And unfortunately, the chat window seems to have frozen. So this was the news yesterday. Inflation data triggers a crypto correction after Bitcoin hits $50,000 for the first time since 2021. It's been a while. It has been a while. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the US Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose by 0.3 to a 3.1% increase year on year. This is not what we want to see, but it's not the end of the world. Don't forget, we were running at 8% and 7%. I've showed you Trueflation an awful lot on this channel. It's an independent website. It shows you what they think to be the real inflation figures in the UK and America. They've got America running at 1.4, 1.5%. They've got the UK running at about 2.8%. 2.5% and under, for me, is a decent rate of inflation. 2% is even better, of course, but 3.1%, it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit too high, but it has come down from 3.4. And we are talking about fractions of a percent. We're not talking about going from 6 to 4 or 5 to 2. We're talking about 3.9, 3.7, 3.1, 3.2. It's all trying to just push it down. The reason this is important is that if Chairman Powell cuts interest rates and inflation goes back up, then we're going to have another year of high interest rates. So he has to keep it as low as he can for as long as he can. So when he takes his foot off the brakes, the car just doesn't drive straight back up the hill. It has to be manageable. And at the minute, in his opinion, it isn't. It's still too high. So we are going to see another period of high interest rates. We're going to see a period of watching inflation come down. And hopefully, by the summer, we should start to see cuts, and just in time for the election. What a surprise that would be. Now, we are going to go and look at the Bitcoin chart. I wasn't going to look at it today. I've looked at it the last couple of days, but I'm going to see where we are with regards to the target. It feels like I do. Where are my lines? There we go. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the low point for Bitcoin. 39.6 is the low point of where we think we would come down to in a correction. 41.4 is the bottom of this range that we were in from December. Top of this range, which we struggled at, was about 45,000. Then we had the period up here, which was 48,000. Then we had another target up here, which was 50,000. So it might be time to start looking at where we could go to next. Now, I know Brogan has been looking at this as well. We do have some other levels up here. We've talked about 52.4, but this previous price point sits really well with the fib level here, and that is 55,000. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go to 55,000. I mean, this is some move, you know. For the last 3 weeks, we've gone from 40 to 51,500. That's some move. I mean, I know we've come up, but I do think we need to do something like this. And we need to have some small correction in the price. We need to retrace a little bit. Nothing can go up forever, but it has broken pretty much all the lines that have set. It's broken here, it's broken this fib level, it's broken this target, it's broken the 50,000 range. So much as I think we need these things, again, I don't have a crystal ball. We're way above where I thought we would be today. We're way above where I thought we were. I thought what was going to happen was this area here is the ETF approval. What I expected was this kind of action. That is what I expected. And we haven't had that. Now, are we going to potentially see that? That is a possibility. That would be a retracement, very, very small retracement, admittedly. But that would bring us down to about 49,000, which we were at yesterday. But I think what's going to happen if we do this and we have nothing beneath us? So it's just going to come back down again. I'd much prefer that we don't do what we're doing and we rattle around for a bit. You know, we rattle around here and then move up, because this RSI needs to come down and cool down. That's what we need. So after the pump, we're getting overheated again. And if you look at the previous times we've been overheated, the price has come down. So if you look here and here, price has declined. We're up here, price should come down. And I don't want to ruin people's bonfires, but who knows? The ETFs are also doing strange things as well. That's something else to bear in mind. You've got the macro climate and you've got the charts, and you have to look at them both side by side. If we are suddenly taking 1,000, 2,000 Bitcoin extra a week off the markets, irrespective of what the charts tell us should happen, it's new money, it's a new product, and it's causing a ripple now in the market that we don't really fully understand yet. All down here, I was sounding like a madman, and I was saying, give it time, this is a short-term problem. The Vanguard issue, the grayscale sell-off, it's a short-term issue, it's going to recover, and it did. But I imagined down here, when I was saying these things, there were people thinking, I don't know, it's going to go to 30,000, I think he's wrong. But the additional demand, maybe it's an extra 10%, 15%, whatever the number is, that demand is just causing this rip right now. And you could argue that there is some kind of line situation going on here, maybe. And maybe we're going to start to follow some kind of path like this. Maybe. It's hard to say right now. We've broken everything basically on the way up, and it's going to take me some time to understand what on earth is going on. So that was the Bitcoin chart, which I actually was going to look at. I've put it in there. I wasn't going to look at Solana. That's the one I was going to miss off today. I think I've changed it at the last minute. Remember, there is a poll today. Are we going to see $52,000 today? So far, only a few people have voted, and everybody has said yes, which normally means it's going to come down. Adil, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing fine. I am making a point now of banning all of these people in chat that are spamming, and it's making a world of a difference. So remember, this is a two-way stream. A two-way stream. If you have questions, and those questions do not involve asking for money, feel free to ask them in chat. The chat is slowly but surely having the people in there who are spamming being removed. I'm going to drop a box now. And I'm sorry if I sound a bit croaky today. I'm a little bit under the weather. 1 minute. Let me drop this, and then we will carry on. And remember, whatever you're doing and wherever you are, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to smash the love heart. Make sure to hit follow, subscribe, whatever other buttons you've got in front of you. Make sure to do that. There we go. There is a box dropped. I can't read chat in a minute. I hope it's working. So let's look at Solana. Now, again, if you've been watching us for a while, you will know that we have been very bullish on Solana, even at $30, $40. So it comes as no surprise to us that Solana is the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap. It isn't, though. It's third, because you can't count USDC, or USDT, sorry. So you've got Bitcoin and you've got Ethereum. There are people talking about Solana overtaking Ethereum in terms of market cap. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care what anybody tells you. My opinion is that in a bull run, let me bring up the chart. In a bull run, everything rises with the tide. So Ethereum 330 billion, Solana 50 billion. So Solana would have to 7x. Solana would have to 7x and Ethereum not move just to catch it. We're in a bull market. Ethereum is moving as well. Now, just to put this into context, year to date, Ethereum is up 20%. Solana is up 5.4%. Solana is going to have to outstrip Ethereum by multiples. If we expect Ethereum to hit $10,000, that's going to give it roughly a $1.2 trillion market cap. Solana is at 50 billion. So Solana is going to have to 25x to catch Ethereum in terms of the market cap. It's not going to happen in anybody's lifetime. It's simply, the maths are not there. In 5 years' time, in 6 years' time, if Ethereum has made one calamitous choice after another and Solana keeps getting hole-in-ones, then there is a possibility. But Ethereum is going to be pumped the same as has been pumped. Solana is probably not going to have that for a while. So how on earth are these influencers telling you that Solana is going to flip Ethereum? It's just not possible. It's just not possible. Could Ethereum catch Bitcoin? There is more chance of Ethereum catching Bitcoin than Solana catching Ethereum. It's, oh, well, look, I know a lot of people new to crypto, they look at the prices. That's why people buy coins like Tron or coins like Dogecoin, because they psychologically look cheaper. Bitcoin looks psychologically very expensive. But look at the circulating supply. Look at the number of ETH, look at the number of Bitcoin. and then go down and look at the number of XRP. You know, there's 54.5 billion XRP. There's 120 million Ethereum. There's 19.6 million Bitcoin. You have to look at more than just the price. And there's no way Solana is going to catch Ethereum. I will eat my hat live on stream if that happens, because I'm telling you now, it is never going to happen. Solana is never going to catch Ethereum. We need another bull run, and we need Vitalik to be arrested. We need the ETH Foundation to be raided. We need 3 or 4 black swans. And even then you've got Polygon. Even then you've got Arbitrum. Even then you've got Optimism, all sitting on top, powering that ecosystem. Don't believe everything that you are told. Don't believe what I've just told you. Go and do your own research on it. Go and do the numbers yourself. The amount of money that would have to pump into Solana and not go into Ethereum is astronomical. Absolutely astronomical. Now, Cathie Wood, probably becoming my favorite person in crypto, even though she's from TradFi and therefore the sworn enemy of crypto degens. She speaks much sense, as the meme would say. Cathie Wood doubts the SEC approval for crypto ETFs beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. I agree, and I have been saying this on the channel. Go back and watch my videos. What is the point of having 30 ETFs? It's going to baffle retail. We want a Bitcoin ETF. We then potentially want an Ethereum ETF. And then we want to copy what Grayscale have done and have a basket of other crypto assets. XRP, Cardano, Solana, maybe even Polygon, Chainlink. We want like a DeFi basket. And as I've said yesterday and the day before, at this moment in time, BlackRock has 50% of the pie. BlackRock wants all the pie everywhere. It wants all the housing, all the farmland, all the financial, all the 401ks in America. It wants everything. It wants to dominate the world. Do you think it's going to settle for 50% of crypto? Absolutely not. If they get the Ethereum ETF, that would give them 70%, I think, of the crypto pie. Still not all of the crypto pie. So I see a third ETF in the future, which is a basket ETF, an altcoin ETF. I see that in the future. But again, I don't know the ins and outs of how does that work. Now, Cathie, believe it or not, agrees with me. We'd be surprised to see anything but Bitcoin and Ether being approved by the SEC. I totally agree. And the reason for that is very simple. They believe, as in Franklin Templeton and BlackRock and ARK Invest, they believe that Ethereum is now sufficiently decentralized to allow it to become an ETF. That's what their argument is. My argument is that it's more of a security than Bitcoin. It's proof of stake. It's not proof of work. It's not mined. You have a head in Vitalik. Are we going to see the SEC approach Ethereum and say, listen, we've got some concerns about your team. We are not going to approve the Ethereum ETF unless you remove Vitalik. Could that be the case? Could they want Vitalik to step down and a yes man put in place? Remember, Richard Teng, I think he's called. Richard Teng is more of a yes man than his predecessor. I don't see Vitalik in 5 years' time being the face and head of Ethereum. I just don't. It's too big an asset. Do BlackRock want a man who dresses as Pikachu to be the head of one of their ETFs? Absolutely not. So I can see a situation where Vitalik steps down. I'm tired. I need a rest. I'm going to take a step back from crypto. I'm going to go surfing with CZ. And we're going to see that situation, because if we are, that's another indicator that BlackRock control the board, not just the pieces, but the board. Franklin Templeton have applied, on top of BlackRock. The pressure will mount on the SEC to approve. I honestly can't see an approval this side of next year, but who am I? I could be completely wrong. Now, again, I am very wary of time. I'm very wary of time. We have a lot to get through. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this ETH ADA article. Then we're going to look at Ripple buying another piece of their jigsaw. We're going to look at the XRP price, because again, I try and find you not quite undervalued assets, but assets which should be in a different place, should be a little bit higher. And I think XRP is one of them. It's a little bit like Marmite though. There's a lot of people out there who just don't like XRP, and I fully understand that. Now then, Ethereum and Cardano lead institutional altcoin inflows as 1.1 billion hits crypto ETPs, says CoinShares. Digital assets manager CoinShares says institutions poured $1.1 billion into crypto investment products 1 month after the SEC approved the Bitcoin ETF. So many adverts on this website. Digital asset investment products saw large inflows, bringing the year-to-date inflows to 2.7 billion. Now, again, one other fact that I like to make sure people understand. To move Bitcoin from $1 trillion to $2 trillion in value, in market cap, does not require $1 trillion worth of capital to be added to it. It doesn't work that way. There is a calculation, there is a website, I will try and dig it out for you, that explains this. But there is a rule of thumb that for every $1 that's bought in Bitcoin, it adds $4 to the price of Bitcoin. Something like that. I can't remember the exact amount. It's 4x or 5x or something like that. That goes for all assets. If you have something that has a market cap of $5 million and it's only got a liquidity pool of $100,000, for example, if somebody comes in and buys $50,000 of that asset and buys up all the sell orders, it might push the price of that asset from 5 million to 20 million. So a $50,000 buy adds $15 million to the price, because remember that the value of the asset is based on the last sale price. So if somebody's put a sale price in of $20 and everything else is valued as $1, but the buy orders take out all those $1 and starts to buy the $20 ask, that pushes the price up to $20 for the asset. So it's not quite cut and dried. So 1.1 billion is going to move the entire market a hell of a lot more than 1.1 billion. And this shows you the inflows and the outflows. This is a good indicator. You can see that the tap really has been turned on at the start of this year. This year has been mega. The focus has remained on the newly issued spot Bitcoin ETF. The outflows have come from, or will be coming from, Genesis. Bitcoin is at 98%. But Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, Polygon, Tron have seen small amounts coming in. But one coin missing from this list is, of course, Solana. And, you know, according to the experts, Solana is going to flip Ethereum, which is not going to happen. I see over the next 6 months of these coins, I see money coming into Ethereum, especially with the ETF on the horizon. I see money going into Avalanche because it's the new up-and-coming chain. It's now, what is it, top 15, top 12, something like that now, Avalanche. Matic is Matic. Matic is a monster. It's launching the AG layer, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. The AG layer is going to change blockchain. Going to change the blockchain. And Cardano, when Cardano connects itself with Arbitrum and connects itself to the EVM and connects itself to Ethereum, Cardano is going to rip. Because Cardano is a stable coin. I don't know if many of you know this. It's 50 cents, it's 55 cents, it's 50 cents, it's 55 cents. It stays like that for 3 years. And then it moves. And then it will be a stable coin at $3 for the next 2 years. That's how Cardano works. It did it in the last bull cycle, probably in the bull cycle before, I don't remember, and it's going to do it this time. We're going to see it go 55 cents, $2, and then it will stay there and it won't move. So it's less volatile than XRP, and XRP doesn't move at the best of times. So keep an eye on this. This is where the investors are hedging their bets. Now, the amount going into Polygon, the amount going into Tron, it's negligible. It's $500,000. It's peanuts. The big ones are Ethereum and Cardano at 16 and 6. And even that is small fry. Compared to the amount of money that is coming into the market, it's small fry. But these numbers are going to ramp up, especially Ethereum. The closer we get to a potential ETF, remember, people are saying it's 50-50. It's 50-50, it will be approved in May. So even at a 50-50 bet, you're going to get market players coming in and buying up Ethereum now on the potential for the ETF. And if it happens in May, I will be very, very happy. I'm not expecting it this year, but if it does happen, brilliant. Let's go for it. Let's get that ETF. Let's get people moving, and hopefully it will just add even more to the ecosystem. No, thank you. So the final piece of today's show, and again, I'm trying to be a bit faster than yesterday. Yesterday I overran by like 15 minutes, so I'm trying to be a bit quicker today, especially as I'm not feeling too clever. Ripple has acquired Standard Custody and Trust Co. to broaden the US crypto services. Now, it doesn't matter, before we get into this article, it doesn't matter how big they are, Standard Custody. It doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter what they're doing. None of that matters. What this says to me that the acquisition has gone through because Ripple and the SEC and the courts have come to some kind of agreement. There is going to be a fine paid by Ripple to finally close off the ICO element of their court case with the SEC. Now, it's going to be $100, $200, $300 million. Who cares? It's small fry. They have billions. So Ripple, through buying this is more of a statement of intent than an actual, they haven't gone out and bought Stripe. They haven't gone out and bought Revolut. It doesn't matter. The point of the matter is they have bought this company on American soil. Would they do that if the court case was going to linger on any much longer? Because wouldn't the SEC start to ask questions? Now, once the fine has been agreed and paid, maybe it's this week, maybe it's March, maybe it's April, but it's going to be soon. Ripple needs that time to acquire these companies, build them into their ecosystem, and be ready to offer their services in America. That is what all of this is about. So, Standard Custody and Trust is a New York-based firm specializing in digital asset services. New York is the worst place in America to not trade, but have digital assets and digital asset companies. They are the strictest. They have banned multiple coins in New York, which is their prerogative, of course. But people, especially crypto people, have had to leave New York to move to states where they haven't banned certain tokens. They've banned a lot of tokens in New York. So New York is the bull's head. That's the place where everything happens. The purchase will make Ripple the sole owner and enhance its licenses. Again, you can look at Elon Musk as well. Elon Musk is doing a similar thing. Elon Musk is going around each state in America and getting, I think it's called a money movement license, some money making license. I don't know what it's called exactly, but they've got 30 or 40 states now, and that's going to allow X, the formerly known as Twitter, that's going to allow them to offer a kind of I think it's called, is it WeChat in China, which is what he's trying to replicate in America, and it's an app of everything. You'll be able to trade, buy, send money, get tipped, all of these things. He's going to build in a crypto wallet. Everybody is hanging their hat on the fact that Dogecoin is going to be the token of choice for him. Not confirmed, but all of these things allow Ripple and X and everybody else to trade seamlessly throughout America. America is a very difficult place to do business if you've got crypto assets or you want to trade crypto assets, it's a very difficult place. It's a minefield, and you need all of these licenses, because if you do anything before you get a license, the fines are punitive. So Brad Garlinghouse, with standard custody, we will be able to improve existing product offering for our customers, as well as explore new products and use cases, all in a fully compliant way. So there we go, money transmitter licenses. So Ripple has got 40 of them. I think X has got somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 as well. I don't know how many you need. Maybe you need all 50, 51, whatever it might be, but we'll wait and see. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. Ripple already collaborates with major banks worldwide and aims to strengthen its regulatory standing by acquiring more licenses in the US, Singapore, and the UK. Remember, if you have a license, and I'm not going to poo-poo any particular country, but let me pick one out of it, Lithuania. If you have a digital assets license in Lithuania, yes, you can trade. Yes, you can offer your services, but it doesn't hold the weight of having a digital asset license in America or the UK or Switzerland or Singapore. Those countries are like the gold standard for regulatory finance, regulating finance, especially the UK in Europe, especially Singapore, and especially America. That's what you want. You want to say that. If you're, it happens a lot of the time with gaming industries. A lot of them will be licensed in small European countries. The big gaming licenses tend to be in Malta and Gibraltar, where they have strong regulations. And that's the key, really, is it's like getting a Harvard degree and then getting a degree from Scunthorpe University. No one's ever heard of Scunthorpe. Nobody ever wants to go to Scunthorpe, but everybody knows what Harvard is. So even though it's the same degree, might be in computer science, one holds a lot more weight than the other. And that's why Ripple is going around the world ticking off all the major financial capitals. Now we're going to look at the price very quickly. We've managed to come in at exactly 11.45, which is exactly what I wanted to do, because I do want to try and finish sooner rather than later, because I am croaking like an old man. Right, let me just check the chat for 1 second, make sure everybody's behaving themselves, and then we will get on. How are we doing? There we go. Right, remember, if you've got any questions, now is the time to ask them. Now is the time to ask them in chat. We're near the end of the show. Any questions you want to ask me at the end, or want me to answer at the end of the show, I will do that. But now is the time to ask. I am banning anybody that's pasting rubbish into chat, such as Choity and Mim and A2. You've all been banned. So please don't come in here and spam. It's not going to get you anywhere. Okay. For me, XRP and Cardano are enigmas. Ethereum has moved. Solana has moved. Everything has moved except for these guys. So if we just, let me just put a horizontal line in here. That's going to be a lot easier for me to do. So we put a horizontal line in there. Okay. And we go back to, when's this? March last year. So in a year, XRP had its pump from winning. It's been pretty stable, had another pump, and it's here. It's not moved. It's not gone anywhere. It's stuck. Everything around it has pumped. All the top 10 coins, apart from Cardano and XRP, have pumped. Why? Why are these two coins not pumping? At the end of last year, I had 2 picks of coins that hadn't pumped. I said Matic and BNB haven't moved, they're going to go places. And they both pumped on the same day. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do have a tinfoil hat. It is left in the other room. I've not got it on. But it's a bit of a coincidence that the only 2 coins that didn't pump at that period last year were those 2. Now, we're in the same situation again with Cardano and Ripple. Why are they not moving? Why have they not shown us what they're going to do? Let's get rid of this line now. So it's been in this pretty miserable downward channel. I'm trying to do this so it stays on your screen. It's been in this downward channel. My line is really not straight. There we go. That's close enough. So from December, where do you think it's going to go now? We've got 2 options. We do this, or we do this again. We're getting very close to the buy zone, 45 cents. Do I think we're going to see it? No, I don't. I think the market is going to rip. And I think the court case with the SEC is going to be finished very soon. So where is the next target for XRP? Well, I'm not going to give you a sexy target. I'm going to tell you we need to get to the bull market support band, which is at 56 cents. It's not far away. It's incredibly close. And why is that important? Because XRP has a history of not being able to break. And when it does break, it does stay above. Yes, I get that. But we've got to get, let's get rid of some of these lines. We've got to get up to here. So let's say it starts to do this. Okay. We've got to get up to here, and then we're probably going to have to do this for a while. That is 56 cents. The top of this range is 57 cents. You have got a few weeks to buy XRP, maybe even a month or so. You've got probably until the court case closes to buy XRP. Maybe you've got 2 or 3 weeks. If you haven't got XRP, and I would understand why, I was not an XRP fan. 4 years, didn't like it, too centralized, whatever. The reason I am selling you the idea of holding XRP is forget about crypto, forget about freedom, forget about self-custody, forget about privacy. Look at XRP as a business and what XRP is going to do. It is going to connect the old archaic banking system to the blockchain. It is going to provide CBDCs to smaller nations. Actually, XRP have teamed up with another coin to do that, and for the life of me, can't remember the name of them right now, but they're going to provide CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies are going to be issued on the Ripple blockchain. They are going to have a DeFi platform. They're going to have an NFT platform. They are going to allow degens to stake their XRP. They fought against it. They've redeveloped their blockchain to allow these things to happen. They had a vote a few weeks ago, and that vote passed. So XRP, which isn't really a blockchain that as we know it, it's not an Ethereum, it's not a Polygon, it's not a Solana, it's not a Cardano, it's not an Avalanche. It's a payment solution. But they've become a blockchain because their customers, Ripple holders, the XRP army, they want these things. So, like Cardano, Charles said it's going to overtake Ethereum. I highly doubt that, Charles, but it's going to get somewhere closer to Ethereum than it is now. So XRP in the next 12 months is going to go from not being sexy to being sexy. And you know I like to use that word. When you have a sexy blockchain, when you have a sexy project, the hype around it drives the price up, and we don't have that for XRP. Look at the news on Solana. We've sold out of our sexy new mobile phones, and we've got all of these meme coins, and aren't we sexy? XRP have just gone and bought a digital asset trust manager. I mean, how unsexy can you get? Grey suits, green leather chairs, green lamps on the wall, the sound of a grandfather clock. It's not sexy at the moment. When it starts to rip up trees, it's going to absolutely tear. $3 to $5 is my conservative target. It's not going to go to $689 like a lot of these people will tell you, but could it hit $8, $10? Very potentially, yeah. If Bitcoin keeps going the way it's going to go, XRP could go that high. If it gets to $5, and I've bought my XRP at 40 cents, I've 12.5x'd in 2 years, 3 years. What more do you need? What more do you need? So for me, you should have XRP. Not financial advice, of course, but you should have XRP. Just don't think of it as a blockchain like the rest. It's not. It's a solution for a 200, 300-year-old banking system that hasn't moved in 40 years. It's a solution for them. It's a solution for cross-border payments. It's a solution for central bank digital currencies. It solves so many things, and on top of that, it's giving its users, its XRP army, its DeFi, staking, NFT projects. Why would XRP want to look at NFTs? It would want to look at NFTs because ERC 404 has come out, and now that's starting to look like a really good idea. NFTs allow you to have fractionalized assets. So if you've got CBDCs, which is central bank digital currencies, and you allow assets, real world assets, and even stock market assets to be digitized, what's stopping XRP teaming up with the S&P or the Dow Jones and allowing a fractionalization of real world assets? Nothing. But to do that, you need NFTs. So don't fade XRP. Don't fade Cardano. They're not sexy right now, but that doesn't mean they're not going to rip up trees in the bull run. Everything has its time, especially those coins in the top 10 and top 20. Everything has its time. It'd be a different conversation if this was a $50 million project. I'd be saying they might not have enough funds, they might not have a big enough team, but they're already there. They're already there. They've got the money, they've got the connections. Just hold the line. If you hold an XRP and you're fed up it's not moved, it's going to move before you know it, in my opinion. And in the zone we are now, again, we don't go down forever. We don't go up forever. We are going to have a breakout. We should retest this support band here. We should test it. If we break it, we are likely to come up somewhere in the region of about 64 cents. If we're really lucky, we'll come up to 72 cents. So a breakup would take us somewhere above this line here, to here, and then to here. And there's nothing I can see in the news that would tell me otherwise. Now, I have managed to keep my voice. I've typed that into the wrong place. I have managed to keep my voice long enough to get us to the quiz. Hallelujah. Right. So what I'm going to do now, close that down, close these things down, and we're going to get on with a little bit of a quiz. Right, let me just very quickly check messages. Is XDC better than XRP? I think the problem is, I say it a lot on this channel, if just because you have a better tech doesn't give you anything in the market. And what I mean by that is that XRP has spent the last 4 years going around making connections in South America, especially Brazil, Africa, Europe, Asia. And if you're playing catch up, it's a little bit like Pyth. So Pyth is supposed to be a chain link killer. Chainlink already has all of the connections with you know, Uber, with Vodafone, with, you know, all the big companies. The same with Polygon. Polygon, when it comes to NFTs especially, they've already tied up deals with people like Disney. Now, is there a better layer 2 solution out there than Polygon? No, but if there was, and it's just started, how does it intend to catch Polygon? How does XDC intend on catching XRP? XRP has billions in the bank. It has the connections. The banking system already has XRP protocols built into the banking system. It's so far ahead. It's like Ethereum. Is Ethereum the best layer 1? Absolutely not. It's nowhere near the best layer 1. It's slow. It's got a crazy leader who wears Pikachu costumes. It's not the best layer 1. Does it have market share? Does it have all the apps being built on it? Does it have all the liquidity? Yes. How does somebody compete with them? Very, very hard. So my answer to that is it might have better technology, but it doesn't have the market dominance. If you say to a bank, somebody in tech in banking, would you use XRP or would you use XDC? People are just going to say XRP. That's my problem with it. It's de facto and de jure. It's the two different ways of seeing things. Betamax and VHS. Betamax was a better video player than VHS, but VHS got to market, was cheaper, was sold everywhere. People then started releasing movies just on VHS tapes, and Betamax died. Betamax was the better technology. That's the issue that any new company has. Right, let's start the quiz. Remember, it's a simple quiz. It's not meant to make you rich. It's just a bit of fun. But it's a bit of fun. Let me drink some water. Oh, I can't believe how rough I feel. I bet I've got X or something. Something horrible. Right. Let me go back here. What we'll probably do, actually, I'm probably going to kill the stream in one place and leave the stream going in another place because you guys don't really need to be involved at this point because it's not really anything you can partake in. So a bit of housekeeping while this question is being answered. We're back tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central European time, but Brogan is live tonight with Simple Signals at 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. He'll be going over 5 or 6 tokens. If you want him to look at a token for you, I've seen some names in chat today. If you want him to look at some tokens, you need to contact him. You need to go on to the usual places. There's links underneath the stream. Go on there and ask for the tokens you want him to look at. He'll do them live on stream. He's very thorough. He gives you his price targets. He's absolutely smashed it with Pi. He smashed it with Bitcoin. He predicted this price for Bitcoin. I didn't. So make sure to check out that stream tonight. And what I will do is